I'm not gonna lie, ad revenue is the lowest it's been in 5 years. Patreon is literally keeping this channel and this series alive. In return for your support, I've revamped all the tiers bottom to top. It's really good now in my opinion. Please consider checking it out via the link in the description. Your help is seriously needed, and if you can spare it, I'd be eternally grateful. Hopefully see you over there, and I love your faces.
医者のいない島、名もなき国の冒険。
Not often the very start of an episode gets a win with the title going and all, but this sideways shot looks great with everyone in the scene looking at the boat. Luffy is getting proper serious! Take cover! I love how they did that rotating shot as they swung around to grab a hold of him as well, to stop any violence. I dare say her mind is set on things being peaceful to get Nami the help she needs, bless her. Also though, thankfully she's still okay. Had me nervous there for a minute.
医師を呼んでいただけませんか。仲間が重病で苦しんでいます。助けてください。この喧嘩を勝ったら、ナミさんは
Feeling proper smart here again as part 13 begins, as I absolutely called her reasoning to stop any and all violence from taking place. She really cares massively for Nami. I love her. Oh, it's a new part, but he continues to be the best boy.
呼んでください。仲間を助けてください。
It's not known to them, but it very much is to us, that he'd bow his head so deeply that his hat would come off is huge. Because right now, Nami getting the help she needs is the most important thing in his life.
ね、分かってくれた。ああ、おめえすげえな。
Yes, she really is. In fact, I dare say, in my heart, she's been an absolutely fantastic addition to this saga thus far. Really enjoying her personality and charm, and how driven she is and everything else. Usopp very much continuing his tradition of being the #1 source of comedy for most arcs right here. A very polite and respectful mountain hiking bear. You deserve 2 wins here. First of all, it's 4 wounds being addressed as frickin' always. Such a massive fan of that, as Zoro takes care of his recent ones he caused in the last arc. But also it's this damn bird. I just adore him. I love animals so much in real life, and he's so awesome. Staying on watch with Zoro while still snuggled under a blankie, just like my own pups while I write these. What's that I hear you proclaim? Back to back wins? Do you dare? Heck yes I do. Firstly animating multiple characters moving within this new town. Then also another one for yet again having the buildings look entirely different to anything before. At some point Oda gonna repeat it, but until that day, you get them wins. Honestly, for me, it's these details that make One Piece different to everything else. They don't just disappear, no longer needed for the scene. He tells them, anyone not on watch, back to work. Also, let's break a record here, as I don't recall ever doing it. It's a 3rd back-to-back wins, as it hit me that everyone looks so unique and different here in this group. Again, attention to detail. And they even bow to her in tandem too. That was one of the funniest things in all of One Piece. Probably in my top 10. How sudden it was. Just dropping one here for the real attention to detail in both the external and internal shots. Correct me if I'm wrong, this may have made something not canon, because I thought it was during a partial filler episode that these two made snowmen, but I could be wrong. Either way, nice touch.
何か?
人々が魔女と呼ぶこの国唯一の医者ドクター・クレハがあの城
Straight away the area becomes far more interesting to me as I learn that this isn't just a mountain, but the crazy buildings made a friggin' castle up there.
おい、ナミ、聞こえるか?
Oh dear lord, sometimes the things Luffy does makes me want to curl in a ball and hide away.
早く直さなきゃ。ビビのために。
Nami being a total badass basically and saying she'll go along with Luffy and his crazy plan if it means being able to get underway quickly in order to help Vivi and her country. She's awesome.
ろしくキャプテン。そう来なきゃな。
That was actually a badass moment, animating her moving her arm through, and then she says these words, putting her trust in him to get her there. She's great, they're great, and One Piece is great.
あ、待って、じっとしてて、ちゃんと縛って。
This anime is full of what I would call stupidly nice little added touches that not many others would include, such as Sanji now coming along as he cares about Nami, and Vivi tying them together.
じゃあ行くかサンジ。ナミが死ぬ前に。
縁起でもねえこと言うんじゃねえこの
We got a lore drop about these rabbits that live around the area. They're very dangerous, but also this lovely little not running on the spot between Sanji and Luffy.
いいです私は外にいたいから。
俺も
Oda still hating exposition, as he tells us without saying it that they're so damn worried about Nami that she is all they can think about right now rather than hanging around the house.
Then
this dude absolutely grows on me like crazy by likewise choosing to remain outside with them too.
ほんの数ヶ月前に一度だ海賊の手によって
What a beautiful time to drop a story about this country and what happened to it, right after he sees in them what kinds of people they are by remaining outside, and likewise they do in him. So natural.
どうでしょう。
黒ひげ
だがこの国にとってはそれで良かったという
Blackbeard getting a win here because, well, I'm sure 99% of you would be aware, who pretty much know any pirate history, but he was a real guy. Edward Teach, in case you're wondering.
王の名はワポだった
Ah, it's all coming together now. Now it makes far more sense why they got that scene that was included before the island, so Blackbeard ruined his country, although he was ruining it himself. Great lore.
だぞ。
ああなんで
だって寝たら死ぬもんよ。
バカ言えそんな人間いるかよ
本当だよ。昔人が。
I know the point is meant to be on these rabbits stalking them, but I can't help but enjoy the fact that these two are able to have a rare chat since they don't speak all that much normally. It's nice.
それもそうだな。じゃああれは死ぬ時のために。
言ってんだろ寒いとこう肌をこすり合わせんじゃねえかそれでみんな
These two totally not making a big deal out of the rabbits and merely dodging their attacks whilst continuing to chat.
それにうっとうしいんだよさっきから
何なんだろう。
I felt that kick. It was a thing of beauty. And I laughed so hard at him being like, go away, basically.
ワポルを知っているのか
知ってるも何も俺たちの船を襲ってきやがった海
ってるもの。
王たちの会議君は一体
やったのね。
叶わず違うあの時ワポルの軍勢は戦おう
Take a win here for this whole scene as we dive into Wapol, Blackbeard's attack and how they didn't even try to fight them off and instead just left. Vivi almost gives herself away too.
早くワポルは海へ逃げ出したのだあれには国中が失望
ひどすぎる。そんなの王が国民を見。
Seeing Vivi's reaction here, because clearly what Wapol did is the exact opposite to what Vivi is doing and is trying to do for her country. So naturally she has a strong reaction to hearing this. Actually a good thing, I think, to make these rabbits more of a threat than originally seemed to be the case. Makes for some tension in getting Nami up there.
ゴリラかよ
違う、白熊だ。
The comedy remains class A for me. What an awesome looking ship! Drink it in! Nice little addition there at the end, with the to be continued written in snow first.
いいからお前は寝てろ。今は他の気すんな。
自分の命言うのにナミさんもうちょっと
Sanji raises a great point here I feel can apply to them both. Nami is only thinking about Arabasta, and Luffy is only thinking about her because he's so confident he'll get her to safety.
がお前が攻撃しても受けたとしてもその衝撃は全てナミさんにまで
Oda writing Sanji to think outside the box here. Let's again be real, in any other anime, Luffy would be swinging right now. But here Sanji wants her to be fully comfortable and safe, so he says and does this. My boy Sanji following through. As soon as he sees that Luffy is about to attack, he stops him and then heads over to get off his own kick. Also, take another one here for a realistic earlier comment about him not being able to get off any proper kicks due to the heavy and deep snow. 100% that's a classic move there from Luffy to make things so much worse. The best. And I do mean the best follow-up win to the last comedy one. That's absolutely comedy gold, that is.
That's gold, Jerry. Gold!
Town scenery shot. Talk about building your world. You've got this country, now we know its history, the castle on the hill, the first town, and now this place. He does an amazing job of fleshing out these locations. Goku from Dragon Ball, everything! First of all, the animation on the door being smashed into and then leaping out the way, but also her saying the secret to my youth randomly, and their response was brilliant. These are the little things that impressed me that many people might not think about, but obviously it'd be really loud. So he leans forwards to talk to him before leaning back when done. That's where the anime can lean into a darker side, not shying away exactly from showing how nasty looking that leg was and just getting into it. I like it. This woman, pretty harsh, but I'm also 99% sure that's once again Endeavor. I tell you, the guy voiced a lot of One Piece. They haven't used it in a while, but my god, when they do, this music goes straight through my heart. Right now reminding me of Nami in her childhood. All's well that ends well with this scene, as the father understood that what she had done had already begun to work, and so was now more than happy to pay. Winning this because it's a life lesson I really do try and live by. So often in life we aren't happy with the here and now. If we could just hold on to that feeling, we'd appreciate things so much more. Really going the extra mile by continuing to show where the repairs were done on this ship and pointing it out. My favourite bird of the series hanging out with Zoro and not wanting to do his crazy training is such an easy win. Luffy continuing to be Luffy and audibly being amazed by stuff is such a favourite of mine.
Wapol の部下だったのだ。
Organic storytelling at its finest, because it comes about naturally given that he's asked them loads of questions, especially Vivi, since he's sure he knows her at this point. Understanding what happened to the doctors on the island, and now it makes more sense why this country has but one left over, as we got some flashback here. Smart way for a villain to gain control too. Oda slaps exposition square in its jaw here. Tell the viewer he knows it's Vivi without him coming right out and saying it. Ah, that's so annoyingly close, get out of here! And now the arc is really starting to heat up even more as Wapol returns to the country, adding in the first proper antagonist element yet. Adding another nice touch kind of moment, letting us know that they fired upon them rather than them just suddenly turning up and guys are knocked out. Very small part in this so far and very specific win for me, but he voiced Ricardo in ReZero. He's the doggo type dude with the sword riding a doggo who helped out massively with Subaru versus the White Whale. Sick guy.
もうこの街を出たってそれもつい
Constantly going the extra mile. I'm in love with One Piece, man. They're fixing the door she broke earlier. The continuity is out of this world.
ここにある町だ。
またすれ違いかよ
スケートの盛んな町だ。
I had to watch that back 3 times because I was sure I'd missed something, but no, Usopp is right. He just mentioned skating is popular there, and it doesn't really matter right now.
ワポルのやつが帰ってきやがったなんだって
Going back to an old but gold win here, everyone in this town looks totally unique to everyone else. Not just faces, but clothing as well. They gotta stop at some point, but till they do, win shall be dished.
掲げるつもりはない。貴様と私は同罪。
Oh, don't mind me. Just excuse me while I leave a win for being extremely shocked. What the hell, dude? He morphed into a bear or something. I don't even know. Take my win.
どこへ
どこでもいい。どっか遠くへだ。なだれが来るぞ。
I legit don't think any anime ever has had as many great endings to their episodes as One Piece has had to this point. So well played. They do some real solid shots here of them running away, overhead, sideways on, shots towards the screen and so on.
知るか。とにかく1にナミさん、2にナミさん、3にナミさん、4にナミさん。死んでも
I like where Sanji's head is at. I'd be the same in his place.
あれだ。あの崖。
崖
走れ。少しでも高い。
There's unique looking shots, and then there's however they did this. They're even moving. They're not just dots. Nice.
ダメだ。高さが足りない。
I've mentioned before about how rare it is that I physically feel anything watching anime, but this 100% was not the case here again. My stomach quite literally feels nervous as hell watching that bit.
ワポルが帰ったトルトンさんが陸方へ向かっ急げ戦える者はトルトンさんに続けワポルが帰って
I love this damn anime! In fact, take 2 wins for this because, first of all, everyone out here wearing different clothing to denote the different areas they're from, and secondly, it's majestic world building.
いいかもしルフィたちが役の思いで城について医者
What an unexpected treat all of a sudden to go first person like this. I'm guessing that is CGI, but if it is, it's pretty damn good looking CGI to be fair.
分かってんなら何とかしてくれよ王女だろそんなこと関係ない
I totally agree with Vivi here. I'm not really sure how her being a princess is meant to make her be able to read this map any better, but I love that he said it.
地図なんて
要は分からないの
あ全く分かりません
威張んなくても
This is becoming a regular thing, and I personally am totally here for it. Usopp saying something in his brave and proud voice when the thing he's bragging about is pretty bad. As sad as it is seeing homes destroyed, I liked it only for the purpose of being able to see what the inside of a lot of these homes looks like.
そこまでだ。
Dropping 2 wins here because, first of all, this was totally unexpected by me, especially after the bad guy said what he was going to do, so suddenly getting attacked is very anti-anime. But also because just before this happened, it made me think about how rare it was that he already got beaten by Luffy in a fight before now. Normally, that had never happened. Then this happened too. Nice!
オペを始めます。
This was oddly very creepy to me.
ならぬ。ワポルよ。共に出ていこう。この土地にはもう我々はいてはい。
I liked that because it felt rare for a character to take such responsibility and say, let us leave this land together, the land we both failed. This great shot where clearly everyone was meticulously placed in the scene and with a good amount of detail on them too, plus seeing the village as a whole, don't get it twisted, that's some work that is.
どうだ。
出た牛の実モデルバイソン
Yet another new and unique type of ability of that? I actually thought he turned into a bear. No one really ever does damage animation like this anymore.
自由な国を守るんだ
Everyone looking so damn different. I can't tell you how often I see crowds in new anime, and you can either spot the CGI or you can see copy and pasted looking characters to ease the workload. It was very brief, but how they did a slight rotation there, and then the arrows flying away from us. Weird win, but Oda had to think of a way to get him gone for a bit after showing us what he can do. Otherwise the guy may have literally solved the problem himself here without our heroes. I swear, Zoro is the only character who I'd have picked as being quite likely to do one more one-handed push-up whilst being hit by an avalanche. I feel so bad for the animators from back in the day. You can clearly see some lovely hand-done effects on him within the snow and everything else being pushed down the mountain. Snowboarding wabbits! All jokes aside though, they actually did a straight up wonderful job of animating them too. It's scarily smooth. That was a beautiful scene, not only for what Sanji did in that moment, protecting Nami and Luffy from the impact and risking his own life in the process, but how it was all done as well. Looked so good. Speaking of all the anti-anime things I've been seeing, this has to be up there as well. When was the last time a villain had such a rough go of it? Thankfully, like this, even he has to run. Another very much me type of win, but showing the animals having escaped is very appreciated by me. This is the fourth such win, but I honestly believe they deserve it. Bad guy says, let's get away! Even tells Robson to go as fast as he can, and yet still, like everyone else, they're hit as well. If the idea was to make this place seem incredibly serene and calm after what just happened, then mission accomplished.
Nami, 寒いか? もうちょっと我慢しろよ.
My boy Luffy can really be so sweet when he wants to be, and it showed so much here.
いいか? これ持って、もう少しここで待ってろ.
Also thinking about it, he probably left his hat there to let her know he's 100% coming back for her, since she knows he'd never leave his hat behind. It never really ceases to amaze me how often Oda comes up with such varied uses of their powers, much like him using this here to eat his way out of the snow. Very clever stuff. How he thinks it went down up there is brilliant. Oh, way to humanize them to me. Luffy, Sanji and Nami are all okay. Take my win. I see myself in many of them from time to time. I recently mentioned Sanji in the last part, now this here with Luffy. I'm not sure I could have walked away. In fact, I know I couldn't have in his place. This was totally unexpected too. I figured they'd meet for a battle up at the castle, not here and now. Oda be constantly doing things that I wouldn't expect. Can't believe how often they're changing EDs here, but I know it won't last long, so take one here for this. Very nice and calming visuals, another great song, most relaxing one yet. Luffy does goof around a lot, so when times like this happen, I do find myself really enjoying it, because Luffy has far more important things to do right now. Now I'm feeling bad for the guy, having to carry both of them and dodge these attacks at the same time. It's almost too much. Not running on the angry Luffy spot. Heck yes, dodging those arrows and then beautifully carrying on straight into the run was glorious.
誰もいねえ。なんだもう諦め
How much Luffy is using his head in this instance? He clearly expects to be followed, so is naturally wondering why there's no one there. He's growing! You just gotta love it. The animals that Luffy helped now returning the favour like this. And what makes it even better is that they'd be more likely to do this since they did show intelligence. And now even more of them are popping up to help. Absolute legend wabbits! I believe not making this a very quick trip done in the span of one episode was the right choice. It really makes you feel the length of the journey when it's taken several episodes.
何サンジ
At the same time as the last one, it makes you admire Luffy so much for putting himself through this to save them both. Like, I'll be honest, I'm in awe of the lad right now.
ウソップさん
Even when the guy isn't awake, he's the #1 source of comedy in the series. Oh no, that was so weird! I felt that pain in every fibre of my body. Oh god. With all the compliments I gave her at the very start of the video, she's also very funny in moments like this.
生きててよかったよ。しかし、心なしか俺の顔は
Oh man. So good. I'm so weird, but it's such a win for me when the crew keeps on splitting up and then finding their way back together. Less Oda. So much for jokes like these. They may be over 20 years old, but they slaughter me. That was entirely too close for comfort.
バカだろ。
The way he says that under his breath is why he is the most funny on the crew for me.
嘘だ。
じゃあ敵だな。敵だろ。どうなんだ味方か。
Zoro really has his own moments sometimes with comedy, like this little exchange right here. He's kicking ass without even having his swords, dude.
これかな。高波。張り合いのね。
He only went and got himself another 3 swords and then took them all out. Let's continue to go. What a fantastic job the crew did of making this such a harrowing climb. His arms and hands red raw, clearly in so much pain, and every slip causes damage like this. It's legit bad. Firstly, this music is a banger, always will be, but the best thing they did for this scene was after he managed to stop falling downwards, he still, for a solid 6 to 8 seconds, you can feel the intensity.
頑張れよもうちょっとだからな死ぬんじゃねえぞ
Almost feels like he's saying this as much to himself as he is to Nami and Sanji. I mean, I cannot compliment the scene enough to truly resemble someone giving everything they have in the moment. I mean this when I say it, I felt that in my muscles. I've not felt so physically tense in I don't even know how long. Almost brought a tear to my eye watching him perform this feat, I swear. In fact, it was so good, even just officially arriving like this deserves another win in my books. Oddly, so proud of him. life reaction when this happened, jaw flew open and I grabbed the top of my head. This is a win where I can literally just describe how it felt. Man oh man. Oh, what a cute little guy he is! 2 wins here. Nami feeling better, thank God, is a big one. But also not running on the chopper spot. Also though, Pikachu from Pokemon and Cheadle from Hunter x Hunter.
それって逆
Going first reindeer perspective like it's no big deal. Also though, I gotta admit, Nami looks very cute here, having just woken up.
それとお前熱大丈夫か
This new, totally adorable little creature. Great voice chosen for him and this first little interaction between them. What's with all the first person perspectives all of a sudden? Not hating it though. In fact, I love it. Very creative.
消しちやって虫にやられたのさ。高温多湿の密林に住んでる有毒の
Not forgetting about the initial bug-looking bite from the last arc and actually addressing what caused her fever.
ああ2日後にお前は死んでたからさ。
I swear sometimes it feels as though whoever did the music for Hunter x Hunter did some tunes for this. They're very close in style sometimes, and of course, I'm a huge fan.
なんだい太古の島の密林を腹出して散歩でもしてたそんなことは。
This, that was really well done actually.
だがね、私の薬でも3日はおとなしくしてもらう。
Installing a way within the plot to keep them here a few more days, rather than her being fine and dandy, but they still hang around in this country anyway.
私の前から患者が消え、治るか死ぬかだ。
Well, to say the least, this is a very unique old lady.
つもりだ。すぐ湯を沸かしてぶち込んどきな。
こっちは出血がひどいんだあばら6本と背骨
I like how they gave Sanji and Luffy proper wounds here. Luffy is covered in frostbite, whilst Sanji has broken ribs. He could have just not mentioned it. Also though, I liked how when Chopper opened up his coat, it was frozen solid and cracked. That's again a nicely added touch.
仲間なんだよ
Clearly right away starting to build Chopper and his character by merely showing his reaction to what Luffy said. At the same time though, I adore seeing Luffy like this. He cares so much about his friends, he's truly something else.
3時間程よい柔らかさになる。
ジク
Oh, poor old Chopper thinking he's gonna get eaten here, bless his heart. Also, I really like the art style used to animate him. It's legit stunning looking.
ナミお前よ
Aside from the fact that they were actually trying to eat Chopper just now, it's still good to see all of them back together like this and doing so much better, and in fairness, they're probably starving.
俺は食い物じゃないぞ
Ah, nice! It's good to see that he can defend himself by turning all big and everything. Figured he'd be a bit of a weakling if not.
奴は人間の能力を持っちまった。トナカイなのさ。
Not running on a super adorable spot!
一礼。
I don't think this joke actually has any diminishing returns. This is one of the many things I like about Zoro. He's asked a question about who this guy is. No one has answered him yet, so no amount of yelling is getting him to help. It's stubborn, but I like it.
と言ったかい。
ああ言ったけどおばあさん
気をつけてこったね
だよ。
おお、すんげえババアだ。
I can't believe they both made the exact same mistake. One of those very rare times where I can reuse the exact same win twice over.
名前に私がお前たちをしてやるよ
In some bizarre way, I'm glad she's actually finally doing something to protect Chopper, rather than letting them chase the poor little guy all over the place, trying to eat him.
閉めなきゃ
寝てるよちゃんとお前まだ寝
Chopper already showing his worth by outrunning those two and coming back around, and whilst doing so, helping her right away.
うるせえな
I'm so confused by this turn of events of a very cute little reindeer, sometimes appearing to flip-flop between anger and gratitude. I'm so very confused though, what's going on?
お前ら海賊なのか？
ええ。海賊に興味あるの？
How Oda totally came around and dropped on us the ultimate little character here. I tell you, you see his picture, you think maybe it's a tad childish, then you witness the story and it changes everything.
お前、俺を見て怖くないのか？俺はトナカイなのに、2本足で立ってるし、喋るし。
Nami was the perfect person for him to have this conversation with, and at the same time it really starts the process of setting up his character, personality and background too.
思ってる。私でも治せない大きな傷さ。この世に生まれた瞬間に群れと親にも見放された。
Nuts! Incoming super sad story, and knowing Oda and One Piece is going to be brutal to me. Learning about the start of his backstory, but the main win is actually for the art change. It reminds me of the one used in that old cartoon, The Snowman.
銃だ！銃を持ってこい！撃ち殺せ！ボケ。
The worst part is that at this stage you can tell that he doesn't understand them and why they're doing this, which just makes it infinitely more sad to me. Also though it shows why he's so angry at humans, but at the same time seeking their approval, like when Nami gave him a compliment, and from a third angle why he's scared of them too. The really good looking effects on the wind here. As a follow-up win to what I wrote before, they freaking nailed the voice actress for this role. Oh man, stuff like this gets me every time. He still cares for life in spite of everything he's been through, which we know to be fair because he helped Nami and the villagers, but still. How they did the transition from when he was huge to going back to normal size with the footprints. Such a genuine shame for him to have to hear this. That was unexpected, and I shouldn't have thought so badly of Luffy, but it broke me because he didn't hear that part, and it's an amazing end to the episode, so I'll give it max wins. This catching everything scene totally deserves one. That little giggle is the best from Chopper there, and the pain smile to go along with it.
お前、俺の仲間になんねえか？俺、お前めちゃめちゃやっぱりお前面白い。絶対仲間。
Can't tell you how happy I am that this scene happened so early on in the episode. I figured after the end of the last one it'd be like halfway through maybe, but no, right away. Sometimes I'm watching this anime and I cannot believe that what I'm seeing is a weekly show when I'm faced with so much animation that looks so good at episode 85 no less. Just putting this out there, Chopper might legit be one of the best things to happen to me with this anime. I love him. Normally when I play games or watch anime, there's someone I dislike a little. Nothing yet here.
いたか？いえ。
ダメだ。この国に医者はいない。ワポル専属の医師と。
It's pretty clever doing things this way, as any backstory on Chopper links into backstory on Wapol and this country too.
いるんだ。遠慮するな。ちょうど昨日素晴らしい万能薬を開発したとこ。
Very specific win from me here, but he's Zeke's father in Xenoblade 2. He's the king who traps you and your crew for a while until he understands he messed up. He did a good job on that character. Unexpected.
ワポルは躍起になって私たちを追ってる。それでなくてもお前はこの国の花。
That's the kind of lore building I adore in this. Other anime I feel would have had Wapol say, round up the doctors, sure, but this one explained the process, showed it, and talked about it.
そうか、最近噂の雪男ってな。
There's a few scenes I'll avoid directly showing, but him being hunted down was awful. Then naturally he sees a gun and gets proper scared and attacks it, not knowing it's not a weapon.
俺の名はドクター
Won't show that either, just in case, knowing how weird YouTube can be with me sometimes, but the Doctor, in a state of near complete undress to gain his trust, had to get a win.
それがチョッパーとヒルルクの最初の出会い。
My words, that makes for such a nice and calming scene, being taken care of for the first time in his little life, understanding what kindness means. There's so much detail in his little home, but the thing that leapt out to me was the flag up there. Either he was a pirate himself or wanted to be like one.
うわー逃げろチョッパーバイかおい大丈夫かチョッパー
I shouldn't laugh really, but that was so well done with him only having just gotten up.
俺なんでチョッパー？
おめえはトニートニー
Oh, how is it so impactful to see him be given his name?
俺はおめえをそう呼ぶぜ
100% Totes Dobs, my god! Easily the most gorgeous looking scenery shot, including a town in the whole arc.
逃げろ死みたいなチョッパー
It's a good callback to earlier when Chopper had to always run away, but this time it's so much better for him because he has the Doctor.
やるよプレゼント仲直り
Ah! We even got to see where he got his hat from!
黒。
こいつはな不可能をものともしねえ信念の象徴
Learning what the flag on his wall actually represents, but most importantly for me is seeing his backstory. How he was sick and then cured, but I find it strange since he did cough up blood before.
ドクター、海賊って何？
海賊か海賊は海にいるすげえ
What a unique as hell transition that was!
そうだ冒険がいっぱいだ
冒険？海賊はやっぱり冒険。
The first stages of him wanting to potentially join the crew as a pirate, and it couldn't be more sweet if it tried.
出ろそうすりゃお前の悩みなどいかに小さいことかよーくわかるぜお前の生まれたこの島なんて世界から
It's nice as well that it wasn't the case that Luffy just convinced him suddenly, but that the convincing had, in a way, begun all the way back here with him.
ドクター、
じゃあ達者でな
ドクター、俺はもう絶対迷惑かけないから中に。
This is so sad. If I had to guess at this point, I'd say he's dying, given the blood while coughing a year ago, but he doesn't want Chopper to see that, but it's still so damn sad.
見てドクター。
Oh, man. He hurt himself on purpose in order to stay around him. This is breaking me.
どうしてドクター。
行け海へでもどこへうわー許せほら死ぬだろう
I mean, this is one of the most horrible things I've seen in One Piece. She lives in the castle now, as we know, but Oda even thought to give her a proper home inside and out before that happened.
だったのかい。昔大泥棒だったお前を救った奇跡の桜とやらを。
そうだ
I now understand so much more what he's trying to do. He wants to make that bloom on the entire island and thus cure everyone for all time. Then they wouldn't need the doctors that were taken. Darth Weirdo, Mal Liao, Nick Wyndham, The Elementator Wars, Christopher Willis, Emmanuel Gonzalez, Fancy Turtle, Kepan, Mini Masher, Marquez, Nazomi, Orekeeper, Otter A. Bodanisi, Steelers, The Epic Commander, Bird Without a Word, Brandon Creer, Brian Bayot, Cameron, Christian Tuasa, Commander Chris, Doggos for Life, Dragonstorm 35, Aaron Winters, Guru, I Am Here, James Tafoya, Yor Edvinson, Kevin Elston, Comfoik, Kylie Wobb, Lisa Marie Timp, Luis Minito, Magnus, Mr. Mansu, Nightly Winter, Peter Milligan, Ruby Rose, Sataka Yari, Zion 44, Sean, The 100s, Tiger Lily Warrior, Sumibito, A Joker, Alexander Schwartz, Ali 50, Amadillo, Brainless Ben, Cecilia, Cedric, Cloud Garden, Dante Soul, Dark Lord Bloody Soul, Def the Kid 123, Devon, Dragon Defender, Esso, Garrett Vermish, Gibbs, Hoof to Lowe's Ritter, Israel Caldera, Jason Davies, John, Juffa 6263, Kelnock, Kevin Nelter, Kevink 102, Knuckle Duster, Kai 158, Kyle Jones, Laxor, Laxus, Liam Gagati, Lifty, Lionel Schultz, Marvin, Matthew Blunsett, Michael Lewis, Modiverum, Monty, Mudini, Mr. Firecool, Natsu Dragneel, Nick Monaco, Nick Pell, 9028, Ollie the Mighty, Oliver Smiley Reacts, Oscar I. Lopez, Owen Halloran, Q Flash, Ryan DeVries, Sarcastic Truth, Snow, Stan, Storm 970, TRS, The Danish Muggle, Thrasher 340, Vernon Hogan, Will Sass, Willie Man,